Hey, Shadow Riders Army, you want to start your own podcast? Well, Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere in places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So go on over and download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's ANCHOR.FM. Anchor. Check it out. Peace.
Full tank of gas. Haters trying to stop me cause I'm moving too fast. I stay rolling on my grind with my money on my mind cause I'm riding, y'all. I'm riding fast, approaching red line. I'm ready to blow. Ballin' till I'm falling, I ain't trying to move slow. Play a holler at you later.
Yeah, Richard 10 Shadow Riders, listen. Yo, I'm on the top of the game. Hard body on top of these lanes. Switching gears in the Maserati. Driving insane as fly as can be. Giovanna rim size 23. Shit, I'm as high as can be. Ladies call me handsome. Way before I did the Shadow Riders anthem. Now I'm sitting in the Black Phantom. More than they can handle. I play the ball hard in the car, that's just coming out the front panel. What you know about that? But I ain't TIP, I'm RIC, KY. I show you how to stay fly in the daytime with Shadow Riders on my side, hopping up the G-Ride, I stay live. The boy wonder's not a talk of the town. Toasted up, never boast, yeah, I'm holding it down. Gunning for now, these tough Burger King niggas coming through steady, keeping the crown. While I'm in the fruit punch jag, popping up, riding around. Believe me, dog, this is real as it sounds. Shit.
Shadow Riders Ignitions.
You are now listening to the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show. All about the JDM life.
Shadow Riders, baby.
What's up? Welcome to another edition of the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show. I'm your host, Shadow Riders Alpha, coming at you with another one. Today's going to be a great show, so don't you go nowhere. We'll be right back. Hey guys, did you know that Shadow Riders is the #1 JDM car culture community on the internet? You did it? Well, now you do. Make sure you go check out shadowriders.com. That's SHADOWRYDERZ.com. Check out the hottest JDM news, events, culture, music, and more. So go check it out. Shadowriders.com. There's blood in the streets. The Bonanjoke quality of life is in shambles. The balance of peace on Synergius is in a chaotic mess. The good guys are dropping like flies. Potential new warriors are frightened to death to take a stand. And then Phantom shows up, fearless and defiant. Brace yourself as Phantom charges forward in the most highly anticipated sci-fi story of all time. Phantom Force: The Awakening, available on Amazon Kindle. Get your copy today.
You are now listening to the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show, all about the JDM life.
Shadow Riders, baby.
What's up, everybody? We back. After those quick announcements, we are back to another episode of the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show. Man, I want to excuse me, y'all. I want to say excuse me for yesterday. When I was recording, I still gave y'all the show, but man, my allergies was killing me. So man, pardon me on that. I still got the episode out though. I'm dedicated to giving y'all this good content, man. I am dedicated to this. We're gonna make sure that I'm pushing these out on a consistent basis, and that y'all get this good hot JDM culture content. So as I was saying, I had to take a pause and come back and re-record. Before we get started on the episode, man, I want to take a moment of silence for all the leaders out there, man. What you guys go through, man, be it good or bad, it's a whole lot on y'all's shoulders, man. Man, I don't know if you guys have been following the whole American presidential debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Man, it was a sideshow. It was like watching WWF wrestling. But yeah, after all those stunts that Trump pulled, I wake up this morning and they say Trump done caught the COVID. He done caught the COVID, him and his wife, man. I do not wish death on nobody. I hate to see that happen to even Trump, even though he is an idiot sometimes. You don't want to wish that on nobody. And I'm just saying, before we get into this episode, man, he gonna have the American country like Mad Max in real life. We're gonna fall into Armageddon or something. It's gonna be like, Road Warriors and stuff like that. And you really will need your brothers and sisters in your car crews to watch your back. JDM car culture gonna take on a whole new light, because we're gonna be having to watch each other's backs, tune our cars, stay on these streets, and stay out of trouble, staying safe, staying out of harm's way like never before. And I'm just saying, man. The Simpsons, people know that Trump been in all these movies and stuff. He putting on the show. Who knows? This could be all a show. The whole COVID-19 could be just a hoax, a fluke. They putting on the show to try to get us to do certain stuff. Who knows? But this man done got the COVID, man. Y'all watch out, man. Y'all be careful out there, man. So yeah, it's Friday. Friday, October 2nd, first of the month. I know y'all done got y'all paychecks, man. So y'all need to go on and get them Shadow Riders t-shirts right now and rep. I know you got it. I know you got it. I want my money. Like, y'all, for real though, just joking. It's about to be like Mad Max out here for real, yo. Which brings me into the topic that I want to talk about today. Hey, one more time. You out there driving while you listening to this podcast, man. Make sure you stay safe on these roads. All my Shadow Riders worldwide, y'all be careful out there, man. So yeah, on to the topic of the discussion, right? So, speaking of Mad Max, Beyond the Thunderdome and Road Warriors, this one character here, I don't think they can hang with. I'm talking about none other than Speed Racer, the anime known as Speed Racer. This whole family, you got a whole family of JDM tuners basically. Pops, the dad, he was a mechanic, master mechanic. Built a car from scratch. He had his own racing team with his son as a driver. You know what I'm saying? His wife was the perfect feminine example of what a loving wife and mom would be in a setting like that. You know what I'm saying? Feminine, housewife, take care of home, all of that. And can hold her own when need be. Then you got Speed, the main character, one hell of a racer. You know, and I found out about his brother, Racer X. I didn't even know Racer X was his real brother until I watched the movie that came out recently. Y'all remember that? It was a movie, Speed Racer movie, like live action movie that came out. I think it was like, 2015 or something like that? Not too long ago. It was well done. It was well done. And it showed the whole family and how they really took pride in racing culture. And so what I want to talk about today is how Speed Racer, the anime Speed Racer, inspired JDM culture. Even though it came out way back, I think like 1960s or 70s. I don't know how old this anime is. But way back then, before we had Fast and Furious, and even before they came out with the anime Initial D, they had Speed Racer. And Speed Racer, man, he was a problem on the streets, man. You could not touch him. I mean, so the Mark V was the car that they drove, and I mean, he had the beeping car key before they had the little buttons on the key to press to get the car to do different things. It had the steering wheel push button, all the instrument bar, instrument panel. You know, the car sprouted wings. It had jumpers. It had all these utilities like a James Bond car way back then. So imaginative. And so what I believe it did was this is way back in the 60s and 70s. The way the cars were shaped, the aerodynamic shape of the car. If you look at cars today, they look very similar to the Mark V and all the other race cars that you saw in that anime. So just like Star Wars and Star Trek inspired technologies like the smartphone and tablets that we use today, Speed Racer inspired the technologies that Japanese car manufacturers are using today, like self-driving, bulletproof glass, all that stuff was in Speed Racer first. As a matter of fact, drifting, a lot of these episodes, man, in Speed Racer, he was drifting. He was doing all types of spin moves. He was flipping the car. Before they had hydraulics and lowriders, he was doing all of that. He was flipping the car on one side, making it do cartwheels and backflips, driving on ice, driving on desert, regular roads. He had a hot girlfriend, so he made it cool to be. I mean, he would have a wrench in his hand working on the car with his pops. Oil on his cheek, but his girl would come visit him. He made it cool. Had a little brother. They had Chim Chim. They made it seem cool and family oriented to live this lifestyle. And today, you have a lot of tuners out there who got kids, wives, girlfriends, significant others, but they live the lifestyle and everybody chips in. We go to car meets. It's a family event most of the time, And then you got the underground syndicates, the evil bad guy syndicates. You got all that in JDM culture today. And Speed Racer inspired all of that. Because think about it, like all the CEOs and presidents of these Japanese car makers like Nissan. I just got talking about the 400Z the other day. Nissan, Honda, Toyota, all those guys. They were little kids back then, or very young teenagers when this stuff came out. And I'm pretty sure at that young age, they were like, oh, one day I'm going to make a car like that. Oh, one day I'm going to drive a car like that. Oh, I want to have a girl like that to drive a car with me. It painted the picture. It planted that seed in their minds and their imaginations to dream big and do more and go further. So I got this article up from Super Street Magazine talking about their top 10 favorite street racer episodes of all time. I'm going to read this real quick. All right, I'm going to just rush through reading this. You know what I'm saying? So the first of the top 10 says, okay, here we go. We'll start with the very first episode where we meet Speed Racer and his entourage, including Pops Racer, his dad, Trixie, Speed's girlfriend, Sparky, a mechanic, Spritle, Speed's little brother, and Chim Chim, their pet ape. After test driving his father's newest race car, the Mark V, Speed decides to enter it in a $5,000 cash prize race so Pops can rebuild the car with an even better engine. But unbeknownst to him, the plans for that engine are drawn in invisible ink on the windshield. Because where better to hide your top secret designs than on the very breakable piece of glass? Naturally, the bad guys all want those plans, and Speed is forced to deal with spinning wheel hub spikes, a dude with a sniper rifle, and countless other dangers in his very first race. And that one is called, that first episode is called The Great Plan, right? This next one of the top 10, I guess this will be number 9. It's called Challenge of the Masked Racer, right? This is the first appearance of Racer X, who is secretly Speed's older brother Rex. Of course, we already talked about that. See, this is the part I didn't know about until after I watched the live action movie. All right, moving on. Okay, so Rex, who ran away from home years ago, and by secretly we mean a narrator beats you over the head with that fact every time Racer X is on screen. In addition to meeting Racer X, we also meet his car, a sleek yellow and black speedster called the Shooting Star. All right, and so that's episode number 9, called Challenge of the Masked Racer. Okay, number 8, The Most Dangerous Race. All right, this episode is notable for being the first appearance of the Car Acrobatic Team, a group of racers specializing in vehicle acrobatics, which is a thing, obviously. The team is led by a guy named Captain Terror, who employs some, shall we say, unconventional methods to ensure his drivers are the most skilled in the world. The car acrobatic team holds occult rituals that somehow allow them to stack their cars on top of each other while in motion and execute turns and barrel rolls in midair. So, see, these concepts, I mean, who would have thought of that? Like racing teams that could do that. It's like they operating like a basketball team. Okay, so that was number 8. Okay, this is number 7. Race against the mammoth car, right? All right, in this episode, if you hadn't realized it by now, that this show isn't meant to be taken too seriously, the classic episode should give you a few hints. Speed enters the Mach 5 into the No Limit World Race, along with a team that takes the definition of no limit to ridiculous extremes. The Mammoth car is more a road-going train than it is a car, measuring more than 200 yards long, packing 30,000 horsepower, and with a top speed of over 500 miles per hour. with Inspector Detector, a recurring character who serves as the show's all-purpose law enforcement officer, informs Speed and his crew that someone in the race is trying to smuggle $50 million in stolen gold bars out of the country. They all wonder who these thieves might be. Where could you possibly hide that much gold? You need like a gigantic car of mammoth proportion, right? In this episode, we also get to see Speed use the Mach 5's homing pigeon robot, one of the car's lesser-known gadgets, which deploys from the hood to scout ahead or spy on the competition. It's a drone. See what I'm saying? Alright, so this is number 6, episode number 6 out of the top 10. The fastest car on Earth. Pop's Racer's life before the events of the series was apparently just as interesting, if not more so. From being a former champion wrestler to working as a top designer for a major automaker, Pops has a colorful past and occasionally comes back to haunt him. In this episode, that happens quite literally. When a mysterious car shows up at the test track one day and sets a record lap, Pops thinks he recognizes the sound of the engine and suspects it's one he worked on years ago called the GRX, an engine so powerful that it killed its designer and 4 other drivers. He goes to the graveyard to see if the engine is still where he buried it, only to find it missing. Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, that was episode number 6. Okay, this is episode 5 out of 10. Mach 5 versus Mach 5. A group of criminals builds a copy of the Mach 5 to frame Speed Racer for the theft of a weapon called the Mismo Beam. All right, which they of course stole for themselves. The actual goal is world domination by means of copied nuclear missiles, but they somehow find time to build a knockoff Mach 5 that has all the same gadgets as the real one, plus the ability to fly. So it turns out the Mismo Beam is just some kind of bizarre MacGuffin. Though the bad guys do build it into their fake Mach 5 and use it once or twice, alright? So that's number 5. Number 4, The Desperate Racer. This is the episode many say calls Speed's moral character in question. And yeah, he is kind of a jerk here. But this story arc is about more than just Speed wanting to win a race to deny his rival haphazard the prize money he needs for his terminal ill sister. It's about pineapples, like 90% of it. So the race is the Southern Hemisphere Pineapple Grand Prix, which requires drivers to grab a pineapple while running to their car from a Le Mans style start and keep it with them all the way to the finish line. Of course, some gangsters hide a jewel inside of one of them, and they try to get it back throughout the episode. In the end, it all works out. Speed wins the race, but Chim Chim steals his pineapple and puts it in Haphazard's car, making him the winner. He's awarded the money he needed for his sister's medical treatment, along with the 10-year supply of, you guessed it, pineapples. You won't find plot lines like this anywhere else. Alright, number 3, Race for Revenge. To this day, an eerie metallic voice crying out, "Melange still races, haunts our dreams." And it's all thanks to this episode about a driver and race car seemingly returned from the grave. The X3 Melange was a top-tier race car that competed at Danger Pass 15 years prior to the event of Speed Racer. During the race, the Melange was involved in a crash with 3 other cars, which resulted in the death of its driver, Flash Marker, and the presumed destruction of the X3. Now the Melange is back to exact revenge on the ones who caused the crash. But who's driving it? Speed and the gang are on the case. Alright, Number 2, the trick race. The car acrobatic team returns in this episode for a rematch with Speed, 1 year after their defeat in the Big Alpine race. Speed receives a letter challenging him to a race, and naturally he accepts. But neither party is aware that they are merely pawns in a nefarious secret organization scheme to eliminate Racer X. By the end of the episode, Speed confronts Racer X and asks him point blank if he's his brother Rex. To which he replies with a swift punch to the gut, knocking Speed unconscious. Classic move. Alright, the last one. This is number 1. Race Around the World. In the final episode of the original series, Speed competes with a woman named Lovelace Goldminter in a race run by her father, in which the prize for winning is her hand in marriage, of course. Determined to control her own fate, Lovelace enters the Around the World race along with her guardian, Oscar. Unlike previous episodes where Speed gives little thought to the misfortunes of his rivals, here he's torn between his desires to win and doing the right thing. He helps Lovelace throughout the race, saving her from sharks and giving her a can of his own gasoline. In the end, he wins anyway, but refuses to take Lovelace as his bride out of respect. This episode is also great because we get to see Speed race in a number of vehicles besides the Mark V, including the vintage IndyCar-looking racer, a speedboat, and an airplane. So you see all that. All right, I'm done with that article, guys. But you see all that imagination that they put into Speed Racer. I mean, so many cool concepts on different kinds of cars, different applications, different characters. You can clearly see how the anime Speed Racer inspired JDM culture of the day. And like, if you guys want to watch these episodes, you can go watch them on the Motor Trend app. Hey, Motor Trend, y'all need to get at me. Get it. I'm not even getting paid for this. I just put Motor Trend on. So yeah, if you guys want to watch these old Speed Racer episodes, you can go to the Motor Trend app on your smartphone, download the app, get a free trial, and you can watch these episodes. And if you want to check out the live action movie, I believe it's on Netflix or Amazon Prime, one of the two. So yeah, go check it out. You won't regret it. It's such a great show. So yeah, that wraps it up for today's episode of the Shadow Riders Editions Radio Show. Tell me what you think. Get at us on social media. Visit our website at shadowriders.com, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
You are now listening to the Shadow Riders Ignitions Radio Show, all about the JDM life.
Shadow Riders, baby.
Hold up. You know, before I let you go, we got to do the Shadow Riders tradition, the reciting of the Shadow Riders ethos. This is meant to motivate you, inspire you, and form a bond between all of us as Shadow Riders. So here we go. Repeat after me. The Shadow Riders ethos. I will be so strong that nothing can disturb my peace of mind. I will never give up, and I will never accept defeat. I will think only of the best, work only for the best, and expect only the best. I will be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as I am about my own. I will give so much time to improving myself that I have no time to criticize others. I will be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the persistence of trouble. I will think well of myself and proclaim this fact to the world, not in loud words, but in great deeds. I will always surround myself with people who are faithful, accountable, and teachable. I will bring discipline, momentum, focus, determination, will, and tenacity to every challenge. I will always have the courage to follow my dreams. I will always stay humble and down to earth. I will always be real, straight, and authentic with people. I will never forget where I came from and where my true power is. I will always represent myself and my crew with pride and style. And finally, I will be driven because I am a part of Shadow Riders, and together we are unstoppable. All right, guys, peace and blessings to all of you. I love you. Have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. I will see you next time. And now, let's roll that outro. Peace.
Cause I'm moving too fast. I stay rolling on my grind with my money on my mind. Cause I'm riding, y'all. I'm riding fast, approaching red line. I'm ready to blow. Ballin' till I'm falling, I ain't trying to move slow. Player, holler at you later.
Yeah, Ricky 10 Shadow Riders, listen. Yo, I'm on the top of the game. Hard body on top of these lanes. Switching gears in the Maserati. Driving insane as fly as can be. Giovanna rim size 23. Shit, I'm as high as can be. Ladies call me handsome. Way before I did the Shadow Riders anthem. Now I'm sitting in the Black Phantom. More than they can handle. I play the ball hard in the car. Loves is coming out the front panel. What you know about that? But I ain't TIP, I'm RIC, KY. I show you how to stay fly in the daytime. With Shadow Riders on my side, hopping up the G-Ride, I stay live. The boy wonder's not a talk of the town. Toasted up, never boast shit, I'm holding it down. Gunning for now, these tough Burger King niggas coming through steady, keeping the crown. While I'm in the fruit punch jag, popping up, riding around. Believe me, dog, this is real as it sounds. Shit. Let's go. Hey yo, excuse me y'all, Ricky Tan's in the building, and I'm on top like gum stuck to the ceiling. Staying fly, getting dough, such a wonderful thing. And my ice fresh out the cold like I'm entering spring. The game's taking over, yup, like a government sting. Shadow Riders, Ricky Tan with a dangerous team, a dangerous scheme. Everybody feel it in the air, I got the spotlight now when I'm making it clear. Switch your style up, time to ride out now. Or put your hands in the air like the kids scored a touchdown. I get love everywhere that I touch down. So don't be mad when your girl gave me a rub down. I'm coming off the top everywhere that I go. So when they say who's the best, yeah, you already know. Yeah, Shadow, let them know this is more than a game. This is more than music. It's a lifestyle, baby. Fast cars, fast money. You know how we do. It's Ricky Tan, Heartbeat Raps, Shadow Riders. It's a dangerous team.